Hey everyone, it's LaShonda from Labors of Love, and I am here with another Therapy Thursday. So today I want to talk about living with imperfection. This came to me today because I chipped the paint on my nail polish, and I just got my nails done recently, which means I'm going to be looking at that spot of missing paint for about a week and a half or 2 weeks. And it dawned on me, like when I looked at it, I thought it was like lotion or something. And when I realized that it was actually a chip in the polish, my first reaction was like, huh. And I just kept moving, kept doing whatever I was doing. I think I was like moisturizing my face or something. And I had to pause on that reaction because there was definitely a time in my life where this missing piece of paint would have took me off the rails for probably the better part of a week. I'm not exaggerating. I don't necessarily mean that every minute of every day I would have been thinking about it, but I would have kept coming back to that imperfection, and I would have felt shame. I would have felt this sense of worthlessness. I would have began trying to figure out how I was going to fix it. Did I need to go back to the nail salon and have it repaired? And it would have consumed so much of my time. When I reflected on the fact that I looked at it and it was like, oh, that sucks, and I kept moving, I had to pause and celebrate that growth point. So I think that's one thing. Like, can you slow down every day and be such a curious and compassionate observer of yourself that you are able to notice growth points and celebrate them? When we are all in our heads, we can't do that. When we are disconnected from our bodies, we can't do that. But when we are embodied and when we slow down and can just observe ourselves as we go through life, we have opportunities to notice where we've grown, notice where we have places where we might be like, oh, I still need to work on that. So that's one thing. I want to celebrate the fact that I was able to celebrate my growth point. But living with imperfection, if you share some of those characteristics like I shared that I had, let's explore that for just a second. What is it about usually a visual representation of imperfection? Because the reality is I think most of us don't think we're perfect. I actually have never met a person who thinks they're perfect. I've met plenty of people who are striving to be perfect though. When it comes down to it, and you ask those same people, I'll just call I was that person, what does it mean to be perfect? There is no answer that can be given. Why? Because it doesn't exist. It is not real. It is a myth. And it's one that we can simultaneously say and realize is fake, but we still give our whole selves over to it. And so if you have ever opened your car door too aggressively near a pole and got a slight scratch, did that scratch on your car ruin your month, your year? Every time you see your car, do you cringe? Does something happen in your belly because all of a sudden the car's not perfect? Examine that. What is it about people being able to see, or even you being able to see something that represents a flaw that makes you unhinged? What if you could live with that imperfection? Because it's real. I live a lifestyle where I do a lot of things. Occasionally my nail polish gets chipped. Okay. I think what I began to learn over time is that manifestations of my imperfection don't make me less of anything. It doesn't make me less of a good therapist. It doesn't make me less of a good parent. It doesn't make me less of a good partner. It doesn't make me less of anything, but it does remind me of my humanity. Oop, There we go. I truly believe that so many of us who really struggle to see manifestations of imperfection in our lives are also struggling to acknowledge our humanity. Some of us, and again, I'll talk about me. There was a point in time where I didn't want to acknowledge my humanity. I wanted to be superhuman. That meant I could go, produce. I could be and do all of these things without the limitations of humans, like needing rest and needing to connect with my body and needing to make mistakes and needing time and space to grow. Superhumans, gods, they don't need that. They just are perfect, right? They just can do that. So I ask you, can you acknowledge your humanity? And if you're striving to acknowledge your humanity and own your reality, are you willing to live with imperfection? Just something to consider. It was a great discovery for me this morning. If you'd like to reach out to me, please reach me at www.thelaborsoflove.com. Don't forget, we're on all the social media outlets. Head over to Instagram, where we have a Instagram page specifically for our podcast, _LOL_pod. Don't forget the YouTube channel where all our Therapy Thursday videos are housed. And subscribe, write a review, and rate the podcast anywhere you get your podcast. Until we connect again, you all be well.